Tracey teaches classes throughout Southern California on chocolate and caramel, and we asked her to create a signature inspired chocolate for our Hatch Chili broadcast, and she certainly rose to the challenge. Wait till you all taste the first ever Hatch Chile Chocolate Truffle. Yes, you heard me right. It's a chocolate truffle inspired by the beauty of New Mexico Hatch chilies, and we're glad to have you. Welcome, Tracey.
Thank you, Jamie.
Okay, so talk to us about how we take a savory ingredient, like a Hatch chili, and incorporate it into chocolate.
Of course, in my mind, I think anything goes with chocolate, so...
Yes, that we know. Thank you.
I love that. One of the things I love about Hatch chilies, not only the fact that they are so limited, and so that makes them that much more special, their flavor. But what they tell you is if you want to kill the heat of something, to drink milk or something with dairy. So when I created these truffles, I actually created them without any dairy. So you get the real full, clean flavor of the chili and the heat of the chili without it being extinguished by a dairy.
Now, I just have to say, Ida, did you have a truffle yet? I have one right here for you. The beauty of the truffle is that you get the richness of the chocolate with the sort of finish of the sweet, round, wonderful, smoky flavor of the chili itself. So it ends with a little bit of bite, and then you get that sweet, finish again. That is scrumptious.
Okay, so what we're going to start with is we need to create a Hatch chili paste.
Okay.
So we're going to start with a cup of apple cider vinegar into a blender, 8 ounces of Hatch chilies that are roasted.
Right.
And if you have a large, like a Vitamix or something that's a heavy-duty blender, you don't need to worry about the skins or the stems. You can include them.
Seeds, for that matter. Now, if you wanted a less spicy truffle, you would remove or clean the veins and the seeds from the chilies in advance, and then you would get a more subtle chili flavor.
Correct. And if you're using a regular kitchen blender, something that doesn't have a lot of speed, then I would go ahead and peel the skin and take off the stems and take out the seeds also.
Okay, very good.
So we would just go ahead and start this and get it going. And I've actually, for sound issues, I went ahead and pureed some last night.
Yeah, I call that the magic of television.
Exactly.
Yes.
So in a pan, you're going to start off, whenever you're dealing with sugar and heat, it's best if you have any liquid to start with a liquid in the bottom of the pan first to keep from getting any hot sugar spots or any hot sugar burns. And then pour your sugar in right on top of the liquid. It starts to liquefy it, and we have a half a cup of apple cider vinegar to 3 cups of sugar, so let's just put in the pot. And we're going to turn this up to high.
Okay, essentially you're making a caramel, but it's not water-based.
Correct.
So it's a vinegar-based caramel. Why vinegar?
I'm using the vinegar to offset the alkaline of the chilies. So for me, it has to do with, almost like that pickling process.
That flavor profile, for sure.
That's like when I use chocolate in regular chili to offset the tomatoes.
Exactly, the acidity of the tomatoes offset by the beauty and flavor, same here, of the chilies versus the vinegar.
Exactly. Okay. And the nice thing about this process, so we've pureed the chilies and we've started the sugar and the vinegar. We're going to add the pureed chilies then into the sugar mixture.
Right.
And we're going to cook this down. And basically, if you've ever made jalapeno jam or anything like that, it's the same premise here, except that because it's pureed, it really turns it into a sauce. And that sauce is then going to emulsify and blend in with the chocolate, which creates that ganache, which we call a chocolate truffle in America. But you can take the leftover sauce and you can use it on barbecued meats or vegetables, or you can mix a little powdered sugar to it, like just a cake or cupcakes or
See, it's what I call a twofer, right? So you're essentially making what is a Hatch chili glaze reduction.
Correct.
And then you're adding that in what proportion to chopped chocolate?
To chopped chocolate, I'm doing 1 part of the sauce to 1.5 parts of chocolate.
Okay, perfect. So, like a traditional ganache or truffle, you pour the hot liquid over the chopped chocolate in a bowl.
Exactly.
And you let it melt, stirring occasionally until it's all a smooth, consistent product.
Yes.
And you have this gorgeous ganache, essentially, that's infused with the flavor of Hatch chilies. You let it cool until
what we do is once it's heated up, so the chili and sugar mixture is going to boil for 5 minutes. Once it's boiled for 5 minutes, we're going to add a little bit of liquid pectin.
Okay.
So I'm using just a
Right.
liquid pectin. You add that in, you let it boil 1 more minute, and we're doing it, of course, in speed time.
Right.
So 1 more minute like this, and then you pour that over the chocolate.
Right.
Which I've already got sealed out. Just melting.
Yes, just because there's a little bit of heat today.
And then what I love to do when I'm making a ganache is I love these stick blenders. So if you have a stick blender at home, they are the best thing in the world, but if you don't, you can just use your spatula and do little tiny circles on the inside and until it blends up.
Okay,
So we're going to take the hot liquid and we're going to pour it over the chocolate. We're only going to do 8 ounces to, 16 ounces to 24 ounces of chocolate.
I'm going to have another truffle.
And then we're
While
going
we
to
talk
take
here.
the stick blender.
Just so everybody knows. Oh, that's delicious. So, by the way, a stick blender, an immersion blender, whatever you have to blend butternut squash soup in the pot is what you're using here. And you're incorporating, again, the chocolate and the chili mixture together.
Exactly. You're looking for that great emulsification. If you're ever working with a truffle or a ganache and it looks broken, it looks curdled or oily, then it's a broken ganache. And you really want to have a nice, smooth, glossy look. And that's what you're looking for. So once you have it all mixed up, then what you're going to do is you're going to take the ganache and you're going to lay it out on a plastic wrap lined pan, and you're going to cover it with more plastic wrap actually in contact with that chocolate ganache.
On the surface.
On the surface. And then you're going to let it sit for 12 to 24 hours in the refrigerator or at a cool temperature, so that it hardens, it crystallizes.
Yeah, it sets up.
Just going to go ahead and roll it up into balls. You can coat it in chocolate, or you can just roll it into cocoa powder, and boom, you're done.
And you have the most fabulous flavor.
What a great end result.
Absolutely love it. We're sharing Tracey Downey's Hatch Chili 2012 inspired chocolate truffle recipe at chefjamie.com. There are still truffles left, so if you'll come on down and join us, we're at Bristol Farms, Manhattan Beach, and you too can taste the beauty of a truffle-inspired chocolate. We love what you're doing now, Tracey, creating vegan, low-glycemic, non-dairy, gluten-free chocolates. And we are truly inspired by the fact that we know you were inspired by kids and adults alike who came into your store who had food allergies and couldn't really enjoy the beauty of chocolate, and we know you love a challenge. So we're going to have everyone go to your website and check out what you're doing now, and we hope to have you back on the radio again to inspire us once more with chocolate. Yes, of course. You'll find Tracey Downey and her chocolates at mychocolatefix.com. It's mychocolatefix.com. When we come back, Stephen Rakeland, barbecue guru, with some tips on the ultimate caveman steak. We're talking...